Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Favi, and welcome to Arrows DIY. On my channel, I like to do Dollar Tree DIYs, high-end dupes, thrift flips, and the occasional trash to treasure. Today I have for you one double-sided rustic Valentine's Day sign, and it's inspired by red roses, super romantic, and I hope you enjoy. If you do, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that bell so you're notified every time I post a new video.
Hola, mi nombre es Miguel y tengo una rosa para cada una de mis damas hoy en nuestra colaboración en el Rincón del Amor.
So you heard my friend Miguel from Miguelito's DIY. It's all about the roses. Now this collab is super special because we all came together, all 20 something of us got together to offer you a chance to win. All you gotta do is watch all the videos in the playlist and comment our secret word. So keep your ears peeled for my secret word somewhere in this video. Good luck. For DIY number one, I'm going to use this wood sign I got at the Dollar Tree. I'm going to go ahead and remove the ticket and the stickers and all that stuff. And I'm going to remove the hanger because I want to use it again later. First, we're going to give it a nice coat of this folk art color in the color lipstick red. It's my absolute favorite red. And I'm gonna paint the entire face of this wooden plaque, only one side, as well as the sides, all of the sides of this heart. Once it's fully covered, I put it aside, I set it aside to dry, and now I'm gonna work on the second heart-shaped wood plaque. So for the second one, we're gonna do the same thing, remove the hanger, and then we're going to use some of this antiquing wax from Folk Art Home Decor. It's my favorite, so I take a wipey and I fold it in fourths, and I'm just rubbing it on to this just to give it a nice rich deep color. And I'm obsessed with waxes. I love the white wax and I love the antiquing wax. It really elevates this $1 sign. So I go ahead and I antique wax the sides as well. Next, I'm gonna go ahead and use these Christmas ornaments. I thought that it might be kind of cool to use these. If you don't have wooden beads, I want to kind of use these as if they were wooden beads. So don't forget to subscribe if you like unique home decor on a budget. So now I'm gonna go ahead with my second favorite color, this mid-light. This color, it's like a deep blue called Midnight, and it's also in a matte finish. So I'm gonna go ahead and paint all of these ornaments, and to make it a little easier, I just slid them onto this floral pick. That way, you know, I could paint them without making a big old mess. I still made a big old mess, but you know, it helped a little bit. So I went ahead and I painted all of them all around. I wasn't concerned about painting the hanger portion because it's going to be hidden on the inside of the plaque, but you'll see what I mean in a little bit. So now I just placed it like this to dry inside of one of those red Solo cups, and it worked out pretty well. So now I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing for this other pack. I just had them left over from Christmas, and this second pack had more of a geometric pattern, so I like the variation of it. Okay, so once I paint all of them in that midnight blue color, I'm gonna go ahead with this white wax, and I'm gonna white wax this red heart. So I take a clean wipey and I'm just going to apply the white wax to the face of this red sign, and I thought that it helped give it more of a distressed age look, kind of like that rustic that we're looking for. So when you're applying the white wax, you want to be sure to move your wipey in a circular motion around the top round areas of the heart, and then go more in a downward straight motion as you approach the bottom pointy part of the heart. I know, I'm so technical. Okay, so now we're gonna go in with some of these red roses from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just gonna pluck off the roses. by cutting them actually. I'm gonna take a scissor, and not the ribbon scissor, like, you know, a good pair, sharp, but not your ribbon scissor. And we're just gonna kind of close the scissor about 4 times on the actual pick, and then I just move the wire back and forth until it snaps off. This is the easiest way I found to just take the flowers off of the pick without, you know, struggling too much. And you want to leave about 2 inches to 4 inches in length of that stem. We're also going to use all of the leaves on this floral pick, and actually more. So I used only the roses on this one pick, but for the leaves I used 2 picks worth of leaves. So if you have any extra leaves, this would be a great project for you to use them. And of course I'm going to save that floral pick to paint more beads later. So once we have all those flowers off, we're going to flip this red sign that was white waxed as well. We're going to flip that over, and we're going to remove the plastic portions on these leaves. Once you remove that plastic attachment, we're going to fold it over on itself so that the 3 leaves are pointing out in different directions. So you kind of want to fan out the leaves so that they cover as much of the edge as possible. So before you go ahead and put the entire Before we attach more leaves, be sure to reattach your hanger. So we're gonna put the hanger back in place, and then we're gonna hot glue the leaves. And this is what it's looking like. And I think it's cute, I like it. So I continue doing that all around the entire circumference of this part. It's very important not to forget to add the hanger on this side of the sign, because you could only do it once. Sorry about that. So that's what it's looking like, and I'm just going to continue doing the same thing for the entire sign. As you're putting on the leaves, just be sure that they are overlapping slightly and that your leaves are facing in different directions. That way there's a flow and everything looks uniform. You don't want more leaves on one side than the other. So now we're going to add the stems of the roses, and we want to make sure that the top of the rose is a little bit out from the center of the wood sign. So we want the roses to stick out a little bit, and then we're just going to hot glue the stems. And you could basically use anything you have. As you can see here, I was using scrap ribbon to hold them in place, as well as some cardboard pieces I had around. So you can use anything just to help adhere those roses in place, and try to put the roses on in the same area on both sides. So next I take some more leaves and I just hot glue them at the base of the flower to try to hide anything from being shown. So that's what it's looking like for now. Now I wanted to add another detail, so I used my hot glue gun, and I'm just going to spell out a phrase here, and I'm going to use some twine to help with that rustic look. So I love using twine to make words. I think it's such a pretty and a charming feature. So I'm just going to spell out my secret word, and once it's spelled out, you let me know what you think in the comments below if you like this feature. So my secret word is love. So I just go ahead and I use a detail tip glue gun, and I just draw out the letters. You can use a pencil if you feel more comfortable doing that. I totally freehand it because I'm not so fussy. And I do add about 4 inches worth of hot glue when I'm doing it, so that the hot glue doesn't really dry before I can get the twine onto there. You also want to be sure not to touch your glue. You want to touch your twine, but you don't want to touch that glue because it does make it a little messy. And yeah, that's all I can think of to tell you about this part here. But as you can see, I just spell out the word love. And I totally love how it came out. Let me know in the comments down below if you would do something like this. I also left a little bit of excess twine at the beginning there so that I can curl it up and kind of make it a cute decorative feature at the beginning of that word. Now I'm gonna take the ornaments once they're dry. You want yours to be dry, but you know me, I have no patience. So I take these ornaments and now I'm just gonna place them where I want them to be so that when I hot glue them, I know exactly the correct spacing. So this is what I'm doing now. I'm just taking the ornaments and I'm spacing them out equally and distributing them in a way that I can use most of them, just planning out my steps. So once I have them in a position that I like, I go ahead and I hot glue those using tons of Gorilla Hot Glue. I use Gorilla Hot Glue. You can use whatever glue you like. I also use a high temperature glue gun. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just going to hot glue them, making sure that they are right on the edge of the sign. So you want to feel the edge of the sign so that you know exactly where it hits, and that's where you're going to hot glue them with the hanger portion facing inward. That way they look like beads and not like Christmas ornaments. You know what I mean? Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and hot glue them as you see. And I'm going to do this for the full length of this heart-shaped sign. And I love making reversible decor because, you know, sometimes I get tired of looking at the same thing. So when I flip the sign, I have a completely different look. And it's a great way to use your space effectively. Alright, so as you can see here, I sped it up just because I appreciate your time. If you're still here, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you so much. And I'm going to go ahead and just hot glue them like so. Now once all these beads, ornaments, once these beads are on, I'm going to go ahead and add some more leaves. Now these other leaves, what they're going to do is they're going to try to hide that little gap between the roses and the beads, the ornaments. So we're just going to add some more leaves on top of those. But first, I wanted to add another decorative feature to these beads. You totally don't have to do this, and you can totally paint your beads whatever color you want. If you don't like the blue, you can paint yours brown, you could paint yours white, any color you want, because they would look more like wood if you started with white and white wax, antique wax them. They would give them more of that look. Now I'm just adding white wax just to give them more of that, just to make them more interesting, to be honest. I wanted it to be kind of like a marble effect. So I go in with the white wax, I just brush it on. It looks really heavy now, but once you keep brushing on, it gets a little bit more ashy in color, and that's what I wanted. I wanted it to look like a romantic pearl, if that makes any sense. So I'm gonna go around here, and I do take off the excess white wax. So keep that in mind. I don't leave it too white. Now once I put in the white wax, I go in again with the antiquing wax. And this just brings it to a whole other level. Really, it just adds some warmth to it, and that's what I felt like doing. So that's what I did. So I think it looks beautiful. And it's not very loud, it's not very noticeable, but when you come close to it and you look at the piece, I think it is a beautiful feature. It gives it more of that pearl marble look. And they don't look so cheap, is what I'm trying to say. When you put more layers to these inexpensive items, it makes them look more loved. So that's what I did here. And you can see they kind of look more like beads, right? Or maybe I'm just bugging out. let me know in the comments down below if you would ever try using your Christmas ornaments as wooden beads. And if you don't, it's fine. I mean, I'm a little kooky. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm also gonna distress the roses with some of that antique wax, because they were looking a little too new and I wanted them to look wilted and old and rustic and romantic and all those good things I love so much. And now we're just going to attach this other wooden sign. But to help it adhere, I decided, oh right, we need to cover the base of those roses first. I also decided to add more of the Christmas ornaments in the center of this sign, because when you add antiquing wax to anything, it kind of messes with the adhesion of the two pieces. So I added some extra Christmas beads to the center of this sign. That way, the other wood board, the other heart-shaped sign, has something to adhere to. So I used tons, boatloads and boatloads of hot glue, and as you can see, I just put them in different spots. Once those ornaments were in place, I added tons of hot glue to those ornaments, and this is really what's holding the two signs together. I also added some around the rim, and you could totally use E6000 for a more secure hold. Now I did it off camera, but I added some twine to the top of this, and there you go. Oh right, I added another ribbon as well. Just a simple shoelace bow with some Dollar Tree twine, and I love it how simple and rustic it is. It's romantic. I really do like it more than I thought. So don't forget to put my secret word in the comment section down below, and thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, want to see more, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, and hit all under the drop down menu of the bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. A special thank you to all these ladies for collaborating with me. Also Miguel, cannot forget him as well. I will leave all these ladies' links and the playlist link in the description box below. So I hope you guys enjoy and find more Valentine's Day inspiration as part of this Love Corner collaboration. Thanks so much for CJ for organizing all of this. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. God bless. Catch you on the next one. Bye. If you like this video, here are some other ones you might enjoy.